Hi guys, and welcome to the Free Skate. This is my recap of Skate Canada International 2022 from Mississauga, Ontario. No, I was not there. I'm never there. I've only been to one. I went to the one in Regina because it's the closest to Winnipeg, and I really hope they come back and do something in Winnipeg soon for an international event. I heard the last time the World Championships were in Canada, or before this, Canada, London, Ontario. I heard Winnipeg was the finalist of a city after the fact when London won it because they didn't think that they could sell out the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg because it's over for 15,000 seats. So, well, that was the down low on that. But okay, you guys, this competition was quite exciting, I must say. So we have the men, first, second, and third place: Shoma Uno, Karamura, and Matteo Rizzo. They were all really, really, really good. Shoma Uno, I found him. He skated really well, but I don't think he was at the level as he was if he was competing against a Nathan Chen and Yuzuru Hanyu. We've seen much stronger and much more technical content from him, and I think that's going to be a theme this year because those skaters aren't competing this year. I don't think we're going to see that massive, massive technical content as consistently as we did. Possibly leading up to the Worlds with Ilya Malinin landing his quad axle and a whole plethora of other quads. I think we might see stuff kind of towards the end of the season happen more, but I think this is going to be the theme at the beginning of the year and going basically all Grand Prix season. I think all the men are going to be kind of not attempting 18,000 quads to get 300 plus points because you don't have to this year because most of those skaters that were doing it aren't even skating anymore. A little note, Lucas Zabritsky from Switzerland. I found he was just a pleasure to watch. His artistry on the ice and his lines and his presentation just ooze off him. I think he's a fantastically smooth skater to watch. He's definitely the best skater to come out of Switzerland since Stefan Lambiel, and good for him. He's got a little bit of work to do with his jumps and the consistency, but the Swiss champ is definitely onto something this year, and he could really start improving and make a case for himself maybe in the next year or two, especially leading up to the Olympics. I think this will be really interesting to see what he's going to do. So keep your mind on the name of Lucas Britsky from Switzerland. I think he might come to be something. Keegan Messing. Oh, poor Keegan. Missing a short program combination jump. He basically gave away an entire element of scores. That was terrible from those. Like, the worst thing you could do is not put a combo in something to make it a valid element when you need to. So he was a little bit down after the short program, but he came back with a really, really, really strong free skate. He did let some points go with some GOEs and stuff like that. Okay, his speed. He skates like he's a bat out of hell. Honest to God, Keegan. Like, when you're done figure skating, you hang up your skates, you better try on some speed skates. I think you could give the South Korean team a run for their money, honest to God. You are so fast on that ice. The way you do that footwork, it just reminds me, I have Elvis Stoico in my head. Every time I watch him do his footwork and his ridiculously fast transitions, I just think of Elvis because I remember Elvis's footwork going across the ice, the straight line sequence, and he just flies. His feet are going everywhere. It's like watching a tap dancer going across the ice. It's just crazy. The fact that Keegan can change directions 1 foot, 2 feet, both sides, back, forward, and do that is just absolutely mind-boggling. He is an absolute master at that. Keegan's quad toe in the free skate, I had to post it on my Twitter because I think it was the best quad toe I've ever seen, and the landing, the when he landed was just, he got a 3.53 GOE on that jump. That is ridiculously high for a quad toe. Like that, I can't even tell you. So you know what, his overall score wasn't too bad. I know he can definitely do a lot better than that, but given his situation of his short program when he was almost 20 points off what he could be, I think his 250 score is reasonably acceptable. And you know what? He gave that performance at the end. It's his last Grand Prix Skate Canada event. at home. So it's gonna be that's his last Grand Prix event at home ever because he's retiring after this year, presumably, unless he changes his mind. But good for him. Kalmira beats Shoma in the short program. Very interesting. Not many people have beaten Shoma, other than, unless your name is Nathan or Yuzuru, not many people have beaten Shoma Uno before, and Cal managed to. So good for him. The score was, for Shoma, again, his score wasn't as high as it probably would have been if he competed against other people that were skating this year. But it's still a great accomplishment for him. Definitely, Kalmir, watch out for him. This guy has the entire package with him. He has got fantastic skating skills. He's got fantastic speed. He can deliver presentation. He can bring the audience in. He's got the footwork. He's got the transitions. Seriously, in the next 4 years, 100%. He will be near the top of the podium of every event that he is in, including the World Championships and possibly the Olympics. The only thing he needs to really work on, I believe, is his jumping consistency, because it's a bit of a wild card. You can see him really hit it on, and other times he is just out in another world. But you know what? He's young, and he's coming from a country with a massive depth in Japanese skaters. And he's getting his time now, and the more experience he gets and the more events he goes to, he's just going to get better and better and better. So you better believe that he is going to be a major threat for most podiums that he is going to encounter. Steven Gogolev, a terrible, terrible short program. The guy wasn't even on the same planet. He really redeemed himself on the free skate. I just have to talk about him for a second because we have not seen him really, I don't think ever in a Grand Prix event. I'm pretty sure this is his first Grand Prix event as a senior. He is, I think, the 2019 World Junior Champion, I believe. And we haven't really seen him since then. As they mentioned on the TV broadcast, he went from 5'2" to 6'1", so he grew almost an entire foot in that time frame. So there's a massive, massive, massive body adjustment that you have to take into consideration. And he's finally coming around again, and he's really starting to show off his true colors. I think more events under him, he's going to get the consistency again. It seems like his jumps are pretty much coming back. I'm not too worried about his technical performances. I think that's going to really come. I'm a little concerned about his PCS. He seems to be super, how do I say this? I guess kind of like robotic and forced in his PCS. I would like to see stronger lines. I would like to see better flow, better speed. Right now, he's just very. It seems like he's very choppy, and I think that's something as 17 to almost turning 18 years old, he's really gonna have to hone in quickly, because I don't want him to develop bad habits where it's gonna be really, really, really hard to break. So I hope he is really training with Raf in California really well, and I hope Raph is going to take care of that, because if he doesn't, he's going to really suffer. And I'm a little bit worried because he's with Raph. Yes, he's Coach Nathan Chen, world champion, but I mean, let's face it, right up until very recently in Nathan's past, Nathan's PCS scores were severely overmarked. I don't think all of Raph's skaters that have a little bit of lackluster PCS skills are going to see those same benefits that Nathan has done. So I think Steven has really got to work hard on that and showcase to the judges that he is able to do that. Mateo Rizzo, bronze medal. Just a fantastic guy to watch skating. He's got a quad loop. He's got one of the best quad loops when it's on. He is so smooth. He's so lyrical. He hits those nuances in the music. Watching him skate never gets boring. And a big, big, big difference between him and his countryman, Daniel Grassel. I find Mateo Rizzo's positions in spins and his jumps are so different, and they're so much more pleasing to see. And I think that's what he really has up on him. I think Daniel has the consistency of his jumps down more than Mateo does. But when Mateo's on and he's hitting everything and he's got all those quads, I don't think he's beatable by very many people in the world. and that's including Daniel Grassel. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen coming out of Italy this year. Watch for both of those men to make some splashes. We go to the women. What a very interesting event the women's was. A shocking short program. I don't think anyone had, specifically Gabrielle Delman being second after the short program. To see her come out and be so close to first place is so enjoyable, so awesome to see. She has worked so hard to get where she is now. She's showing that attack. She's showing that fight. She looks physically fit. She is fast. She is ready. She's fierce. The only thing that I'm going to say to her, Gabby, you got to trust your training. You have been a world podium member. You were a world bronze medalist. You have an Olympic medal. You have been in every event probably possible to think of. You know what to do. You need to trust your training. You need to go out there and have fun. Go out and have fun. If you don't have fun and your brain's thinking too crazy, this is what's going to happen every time to you, like it happened in the free skate. Her triple toe finally has come back to life. And we've seen it in training over and over and over again. And every competition she's hit previous to this, it has been fall, miss, double, whatever it is. This time, both programs, absolutely fantastic. I believe, I don't remember what her GOEs were on it. They were still quite high, but I seem to remember them being higher a few years ago. And I find that very interesting because I think these triple toes are some of the best ones she has done. Now, is that because she has lost some of her international stature, or was her GOE really less than what it should have been? I think her GOE should have been more. I really want to know what your opinion is, specifically on Gabrielle Delman's triple toe in both the long and the short. How you think the judges rated that single element. Madeline Skizas first after the short program. That was fantastic to see. She came out so strong. Her triple toe combination, again, both programs super strong. This girl is gonna come in it to win it in every event that she's in. She looks like she is ready to push forward. More experience is needed under her belt. She's still relatively a newer skater on the Grand Prix circuit. She hasn't competed a ton. She was really in the Olympics. She was just thrown into the wolves. I remember when the team competition, she was almost, I don't know, half the world hadn't even heard of her, and she was being thrown into the team competition. And boy, did she hold her ground. She really made her a name for herself, and I think she's just getting better and better. So congratulations on Madeline on winning the short program. Unfortunately, the free skate was a little bit different. She was able to pull out of a few jumps and double a few jumps, so that definitely did not work in her favor. One of the interesting things on the ice, Madeline had found after, and she didn't make excuses for it. She said she's going to be better next time. But when people throw the flowers onto the ice and they have the flowers are in those little water vats, that was actually found on the ice, and Madeline says that was a distraction for the entire time. She maybe should have stopped and given it to a referee and told them what happened. She probably could have reset herself. But maybe she didn't feel comfortable doing that. She thought, oh, well, it's there. Like, I'm just going to go around it kind of thing. But I think overall it may have actually messed her up. Because something like that, well, you don't think it's going to be a big deal when you're in that kind of pressure situation with the judges watching, TV cameras, world watching, that actually might be enough to set you off. But who knows? So yeah, we have also Rinka Watanabe. Say the name again. Rinka Watanabe of Japan won the gold medal. This is incredibly interesting because 2 years ago she was 26th or 27th, one of the two, at Japanese Nationals. Last year, she was 6th. She's never been to a Grand Prix event ever, like junior or senior. This was her first Grand Prix event, period. Because Japan has such a crazy depth in women's skating. And she comes out and she wins Skate Canada. How crazy is that? Beautiful triple axel in her free skate really set her up to have a fantastic program. It's going to be very interesting to see in her next event where she's going to go head to head with Kari Sakamoto. We're going to really see what she can do against that teammate. And I think, honestly, if I could buy tickets to Japanese Nationals just to see the women, I would so be there. I think that would be an absolutely phenomenal event to go see. You have literally, I think, like the top 8 Japanese women could probably win any Grand Prix event this year, like if they enter it and skate well. It's absolutely insane. So here we have 20-year-old Rinka Watanabe, Skate Canada gold medalist, first ever Grand Prix event, and first time many of you have even seen her skate. Congratulations to her. That is absolutely phenomenal. And a testament to the Japanese Skating Federation, who shoots out these women, and you have a 6th place finisher that can win a Grand Prix event. That's absolutely crazy. There's no way that an American or Canadian 6th place national finisher would win a Grand Prix event in like any scenario. That's absolutely insane. Young Yu, I find she is a lovely skater to watch, but I still find her a little bit slow in her program. I find her a little bit cautious. I think she really needs to work hard on her speed in her program, a little bit better transitions. She's got really good technical jumps. She's got good spins. She really attacks those jumps. I find when she's going into her jumps, it's kind of weird. Most skaters hesitate going into jumps. I think it's like opposite of her. She like enjoys going into jumps. She will complete that technical element with conviction. And then when she's going into a step sequence or something else, I almost find her holding back a little bit. So I need her to stop holding back and just go. Like, give me some Unicum vibes and just go. Star Andrews, you guys. What was that? Can you believe that Star Andrews won silver? I still can't even believe Star Andrews won silver. I want to know, did anyone have that on their bingo card? Or your prediction list for Star Andrews to win the silver medal at Skate Canada? That is absolutely insane, and that is the best I've ever seen Star skate. 126 in the free skate is superb for her. Obviously, I think for her to be competitive on the world stage, she's going to have to be a little bit better than that, but her jumps were on today. She needs to get some more triples. She needs to be slightly more graceful in her PCS. She really reminds me of Syria Bonnelly. I find her very technical oriented. She's worked really hard on her artistry. You can really tell, but that is still holding her back just a little bit. But for her to win a silver medal at a Grand Prix event, which is her first ever Grand Prix medal, honestly, Star Andrews, good for you. I don't think anyone had that coming in. Judging by the reaction when her score came up, I don't think she had that either. Enrika Kahira, third in the free skate with a really dumbing down technical content because the doctors have not cleared her yet for taking off on a jump on her right foot because of the fracture that she had. So for her to be third in the free skate is actually quite phenomenal, especially when you didn't have half the jumps the other girls did. That just goes to tell you how technically solid she is in the rest of her programs and how strong she is in her PCS and her program. She's got such good speed. She's got really strong transitions. She's got very technically sound edges, and that's what carried her through that long program. Good for you. Going into pairs. This was a little bit of an odd pairs event because pretty much everybody that could challenge for the world podium wasn't in this event. So naturally, Mira and Kahira were the favorites to win. They did manage to get Japan's first ever pairs gold medal in figure skating in the Grand Prix event. So congratulations, and they definitely deserved it. They were the class of the field. Their speed and carriage through these lifts and elements are crazy. I don't think I've realized how fast they were, or they've gotten better this year. They might be better this year than they were last year for that type of stuff. Like the lifts were just so effortless, so fast, such the speed on the rotation, the landing of them were just so clean. And then we have Chen and Hao second, and Conti and Machi were third. They're younger teams. They definitely need to work on pretty much all of their elements. They're strong pairs teams for being so young. And yeah, I mean, we had situations where Mira and Kahira weren't able to start training up until I think it was mid September because of injury she sustained. And they actually didn't start run throughs until I think last week. So the fact that they were able to hit a 212 in their Grand Prix event after doing run throughs for a week is actually really fantastic. So we should see their score steadily improve throughout the entire year. I think the other two pairs that medaled could be contenders come 2026. I guess we'll see what happens. They both have really strong, nice elements. Conti and Machi only lost out on the silver by tenths of a point. I think their twist needs a little bit of work. When their consistency needs to come. But you know what? They're a young team, a pairs team. Pairs in general is super hard to become consistent at. It can take years and years and years and years and years. So I think they're on the right path, and I guess we'll see what the future brings them. And ice dance. So ice dance. I can't even get over how good Piper and Paul were, you guys. I think they have hit a new level this year. Thank God they continue skating because they clearly were not done given their gift to the world. They had 215 points overall, 87 in the rhythm dance, 128 in the free dance. Those are massive scores, you guys. In comparison, let's remember Maddie and Evan, given we know they weren't perfect, but Maddie and Evan only got 202. That's a 13-point difference between the two events, 82 in the rhythm dance and 120 in the free dance. That's a big margin, and both were international panels. They were not national panels scoring, so that's crazy. I can't believe. So Piper and Paul's rhythm dance, burning, scalding, fire hot, so good. I have never seen them. Usually they're like fun kind of party, let's go kind of, especially for like that type of like rhythm dance where it's like the Spanish theme and they like just like give it through. This one was like hot. They were like smooth and sexy and fast, and oh, I just loved it. It was so good. Probably the best one I've seen entire season for anyone in the whole ice dance competition. They are my favorites right now to win gold at every event that they are in. Good for them. Marjorie Joy and Zachary Laga of Canada won the bronze medal. I can't get over how much Zach reminds me of Scott Moyer. Every time I see him dance, I just see Scott. I want to say, oh, I see Zach. That reminds me of Zach. He's a Zach. He's his own person. I see Scott. Every time I watch the kid, it's Scott Moyer on the ice. He is just unbelievable. His expression, his commitment, his ability to lead and guide the dance is just phenomenal. I just see the greatest things coming out of this team. I said this years ago when LaJoy and Laga came onto the Grand Prix scene. I said in my videos, you watch for them. I said they are going to be the next massive thing in ice dance. And I believe in 2026 that they are going to be one of the heavy favorites, if not the favorite, to win the gold medal. And I'm going to stick to that the entire way. And in 2026, we'll see. Come back to this event. We're in 2022 right now. I know what's happening. Yeah, both their ice dances, their rhythm dance and their free dance were so good. I really like their change of pace in the free dance. They're typically a fun kind of outgoing ice dance team. This one showed their ability to be mature, showing their longer lines, their deeper edges, their ability to connect to softer music. I believe that they can really showcase a whole variety of music. I was kind of waiting for them to do that. I it's funny because I don't know if I prefer them in like the fun, crazy party programs or this side because I think they're so good at the other side. It's going to take me time to get used to them being in a softer, like more classical area, but they do it very, very, very well. And I know the judges love that. I mean, they're ice judges; they want to see the classical. Oh, they're boring. But I hope they don't lose their identity within that. I want them to keep being quick, being precise. Their twizzles have gotten so much better. The twizzles are super fast. There's room for a slight more improvement with them in the speed, but they are so much better than they were last year. And I think they're on a really good trajectory to become something really, really great in the ice dance world. I found the American team, Green and Parsons. They are really pleasant to watch. I will say, I can't even describe it. I was trying to think of the words when I was like rewatching them. I found them a little bit heavy, if you know what I mean. I found like there was a weight on them and they were working a little bit too hard to perform. I actually think they were slightly overscored, to be quite honest with you. They have really good basic skills. They have fantastic lifts. They have nice spins, but I find their transitions in between and their skating between their holds and different elements. I found them to look and feel a little bit heavy. I don't know really how else to describe that, but that's just what I feel out of them. So yeah, you guys. So that was Skate Canada International. I would love to hear what you think about it, and uh, yeah, thank you for watching me, and I hope you guys all have a great night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you for the next Grand Prix event. Okay, bye.